Welcome back to the Soulful Success podcast. I'm your host, Janelle Chiara, and we are back with another guest episode. Today, I'm here with Jamie, a paid advertising specialist, and we're going to have an amazing conversation because, Jamie, I only came across you like 3 days ago. You're currently living in Thailand. You also work online, and I'm so intrigued to get into your story about how you actually ended up right here.
So my name is Jamie. It's a pleasure to meet you. And basically, in regards to how I got to Thailand, I had already visited Mexico, Colombia, Dominican Republic, and Bali. Actually, Bali was after Thailand. So after Latin America, I was basically like, okay, so do I go back to Latin America or should I go to Asia? At the time, Thailand was viral. It was popping. It was going viral, all the videos. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm just going to Thailand. 16 hours later, I'm in Phuket. I was in my first apartment in Hawaii. Hawaii was an absolute eye-opener. Like, even after living in Latin America for like 3 years, I was still so... It was like I had just traveled again from the beginning, you know, and it was like the nature and the food and obviously the cost of living. And I was like, yeah, Thailand is definitely up there in regards to, you know, some of the best countries in the world that I've personally visited. So yeah, in regards to my background, I do paid advertising. You know, some people may refer to it as social media marketing agency. Other people may refer to it as media buying. Specifically, what I do is I help businesses to scale with more leads, with more sales, with more revenue, with more engagement, etc., etc.
First of all, we had a little bit of a conversation before the podcast, and your journey actually started on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
So for anyone who's not aware of what Clubhouse is, this was like a platform that started popping off during lockdown. I remember like everyone was at home, we couldn't leave the house, and Clubhouse was kind of like everyone was on Zoom and Clubhouse. So Zoom was like for work and Clubhouse was kind of like for communicating and like a social media platform. And your journey began there with no experience and just an idea, right?
So before Clubhouse, so at the time I was in university, and just before COVID, I visualized the future and I visualized having the good job and having the good apartment and having the good house. I'm in London. I'm depressed. I was like consuming a lot of YouTube content, and one of the YouTube content that I consumed was an audiobook called The 4-Hour Work Week. That book opened my eyes, and then I was like, okay, cool, like the internet can do this. And then now I'm in the algorithm. So come to Clubhouse now. Clubhouse gets released and it's COVID, and it's obvious that, okay, social media marketing, everything that I had been learning and investing in myself, is for this one moment right now in COVID-19. Everything's shut down. The high street is a ghost town. All these businesses are closed down. And if they don't have an online business, if they don't have an online service, if they don't have advertising, they're not making money.
What's really interesting is the fact that you brought a course and you didn't make any money for 11 months. Now, at this point, people would be thinking, I've been scammed, you know, I've been scammed. This course isn't worth it. But knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
And as soon as you learn something, it's a skill for life. And I think this is the thing with having an online business that you have. You will learn something and you can't unlearn it. Once you've learned it, that's it. It's there. And it's about application. It's about the point in your life when you then take the knowledge that you've learned and then you're able to apply it. So for you, although it took 11 months, when you did apply it, you scaled really quickly. And on a platform where that platform was not actually used for people to make money, right? It was a platform.
It was just for chatting.
Yeah,
just for like connecting. It was, you know, Clubhouse was initially with Paul and Rohan, the founders. They would host weekly town hall meetings, and it was like they weren't even making money. Like monetization was a big problem for them because there was no ads. It was literally just an app for people, like invite only initially, just for people to chat. And then as the adoption grew and as people were talking about business and the popularity grew, Elon Musk was on there, Mark Zuckerberg was on there, Kanye West was on there, like, you know, and even as well in the rooms that I and my partner, my friend Donnie as well, he's the owner of the Creative Individuals. So he would host rooms and Ty Lopez would be on the stage. Grant Cardone would be on the stage. JT Fox would be on the stage. These prevalent entrepreneurs like Gary Belcher would be on the stage. Like, these are people who, Perry Belcher, etc., etc. These are people who are established in business and marketing in the online space, and they would be on our stages. And yeah, it was a huge paradigm shift. And then once Clubhouse became open to, you know, an application, no invite only, that's when the quality started to decline a little bit. That's when the demand started to decline. And then obviously when the, you know, the COVID-19 restrictions started to lift, that's when people started going outside. And then it was kind of like a slow decline from that point. So yeah, like COVID-19 and Clubhouse really like encapsulated a demand for human connection that was in the moment really, really lacking from the marketplace. And another thing as well is that luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So I had prepared, I had studied, I invested in the course, I had been training, I had been learning, I've been thinking, I've been visualizing, thinking of my goals, training myself in the skill set, paid advertising, aligning myself with the beliefs and the frequency. And then the moment of COVID-19 and Clubhouse, the application being released, I didn't release those things. I didn't make COVID, you know, I didn't have any control over that, but I was prepared. So it looks to the outside that I was lucky, I got a big break, you know, but to me, I was prepared. So yeah, like if you're like watching this, then really make sure that you prepare yourself and you have the identity of what it is that you want to create in your life. And just because you aren't seeing the specific result, it doesn't mean that in the future that opportunity is not coming to you. Infinite opportunities are always coming. You just need to be prepared for it in order to home run that opportunity for it to create what you're trying to create. But yeah,
I love that. I love that. I've never heard that saying before.
You haven't heard it? Oh.
I've never heard it, but it resonates with me so much because people see the lifestyle, they see people living in Thailand, they see the online businesses, and a lot of the time people say that to me and they're like, oh, you're so lucky. No. And even someone said it to me yesterday. I was on TikTok live and they're like, do you realize how privileged you are? And I'm like, oh, do you mean that I've spent 6 years building a business that then allows me to live in a country? Okay, great. Because I don't believe in luck. I believe in the fact that you prepare yourself and opportunities arise. Yeah. Because if this opportunity came to you and you didn't prepare yourself, then you wouldn't be able to take the opportunity. Okay, let's get into the fact that you have lived in so many different countries. Yeah. How did you go from, you said that you was depressed in London. Yeah. So what was the first step in being like, you know, I'm getting out of here?
Brilliant. Yeah, so I was trying to rent an accommodation in London, like £1,500 for a 2-bedroom apartment in Stratford. I was like, okay, cool. Let me rent that. Cool, we go to the viewing, it's perfect, it's great, yeah, I'm ready to pay, I'm ready to sign, housemate ready, you know, she was ready to pay, ready to sign, cool. And then basically you need a guarantor. In order to rent the accommodation, you need a guarantor. They must be making at least, I think it was like 50,000-60,000 pounds a year. Cool, both my parents don't qualify, so now I'm in a situation. First thing I do, call my relatives. Okay, one of my uncles, he was like, okay, I'll do it, cool. I pack my bags, I'm gassed, I'm moving out, you know, because at the time, like, it's a toxic environment in my household. Is, you know, it's not the best. I'm like 20 years old and I'm living with my parents, you know, and it's like, it's not, you know, I don't want to, so I'm trying to move out. And my uncle's like, yeah, cool, yeah, sweet, pack my bags, I'm ready. And then, you know, last minute he gets cold feet and he backs out. I'm like, okay, fair enough, cool, whatever. So now I'm just sitting, you know, and I don't have a way to move out. I feel even more empty. I remember speaking to someone on Clubhouse. And sharing this exact story that I just shared. I was like, yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I can't move out. Why don't you just come to Mexico? The sun is shining and it's vibing. I'm like, what the? So I type it in on YouTube and I start researching and I look and I'm like, yeah, this is looking nice. Mexico was the only country on earth that would allow you in without a vaccine and without a COVID test, right? So that ticks both of my boxes. Because, yeah, so I was scared first. I had a little bit of anxiety, like, oh, it's a different country, is it this and is it that? Should I go? Should I just stay? Oh, don't do it. It's dangerous. You could get kidnapped. You could get killed. You could do excuses, fear. And then I just bubbled it all down to, at the end of the day, do I want to stay in the UK? Not for a damn month longer.
I need to hold you there because one of the questions that I get asked so much is, how did you move country? And I'm like, by booking a ticket. And like, people don't understand that you just need to book the ticket and go. Because
Just
all
get
of
on the
those
plane.
limiting beliefs, all of those fears, all of those things that are circling around your head that are going to be telling you not to go are going to continue.
Forever.
But once the ticket's booked, you've got no choice.
Gotta deal with
And
it.
I think a lot of the time you have to put yourself in situations where you can't back out.
Burn the boat.
Yeah.
The advice that I give to anyone that's on the fence about solo traveling, like they feel, fear, it's dangerous. I'm a solo female traveler. What do I do? Etc. Etc. I just bubble it down to this. At the end of the day, everything that you're saying, every excuse, every point, every, contention is 100% valid, is 100% true, is 100% factual. What is also true is the negative experience and emotions that you feel with the current reality, living where you are. You have the desire to travel. Okay, cool. So we've got the negative experience of where you are, and then we've got the negative experience of all of the excuses stopping you from traveling, right? Which one is more painful? That's it. And that's it. Like, okay, well, staying in the UK for the rest of my life, that's infinitely painful. And, getting mugged is like, X amount painful. But this is infinite. So fuck it. Let me just do you know what I'm saying? Like, let me just book the ticket, So it's like, like, that's what I would personally say. Like, bear everything in mind, everything considered, all of the, anxieties and fear that you have, which is valid. But which would you rather? Would you rather live with the regret of never traveling, or would you rather just book the ticket and just see what happens as it goes along? So for me, booking the ticket was really, really easy, right? But for other people, I can understand that, like, it can actually be a really insecure moment. But like, I booked the ticket, got on a plane, and then estamos en Mexico. It was, I did not see anything. I saw one person get jumped, and I got pickpocketed, and that's it.
But that's life, right?
That's life.
And you can get pickpocketed in London.
Yeah,
So
a lot worse.
These situations can happen. I really want to go back to something that you said earlier, which has just been stuck in my mind, which is the 4-hour work week.
Yeah.
This book is incredible. If you have not read this book, I need every single person to go and read this book.
Yeah.
This book is amazing because it shows you that life is. I was having a conversation about this book. We're in alignment. I was having a conversation about this book 2 days ago, right? And I was saying that you can wait. You can live the life that you're supposed to live. Go to college, go to school, go to college, get a job, work till you're 67. Then you go into retirement. And once you're in retirement, you may be able to travel the world.
If your body isn't broken.
Thank you. Right? So the 4-hour work week takes into this idea that you have these mini retirements.
There we go.
And I love this. And mini retirement is at any age that you are right now, just go and do something that you've always wanted to do. Now, the problem that we have is that people are restricted because they have jobs and they cannot take the time off of work. The advice I'm going to give to everyone right now is quit that job. And it's crazy, right? Yeah. The advice is great. Quit the job. But the thing is, this job is keeping you trapped. It's keeping you, okay, I can go on one holiday per year for the next 20 years.
For like 4 days.
That is not life. You are not living life. You are here for this is your one chance.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really take into consideration the fact that this is not a do-over. This is your life. I'm really passionate about this, as you can tell, but this is your life. This is like, you don't get a do-over. Take the opportunities, buy the ticket, jump on the plane, quit the job. You can always go back. You can always go back. You could go back to London right now. If things don't work out, it wouldn't look great, oh my God, people might judge me, but you can always go back. But if you don't take the opportunity, you'll never know.
But do you know what it is, is money, right? So the reason why people aren't going to logically quit their job is because of that money, right? So let's say that they're earning £2,000 a month, right? That's a decent salary in London, right? Let's say that they're earning £2,000 a month, right? They need, in order for them to quit their job, they need a way to guarantee themselves that, okay, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going to be able to make 3,000 at any given month, at any given week. I can do that. I have the skills to do that. That is what they lack, right? So guys, like, really and truly, a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection is all that you need to close a deal. Think of it like this, I always like think about this, right? All you need to make £2,000 per month working a 9 to 5 is you need to create a CV, You need to apply to jobs. We all know how challenging that is. We all know how difficult that is. You got to make a LinkedIn account. You got to get endorsed. You got to apply. You got to text people. You got to message them. You got to get interviewed. Maybe get it. Unfortunately, email, rejection. And then maybe you get a job, £1,200 a month. Okay, cool. Congratulations, right? To close a deal for £1,000, right? You got to have an offer. You don't even need to know how to do the offer, but you just need to have an offer. And then you just need to find leads, communicate to the leads. And then by the end of it could take literally 4 or 5 days. If you consistently reach out to 50, 30, 60, 70, 100 leads per day, it will take you literally 30, 40 minutes and say, hey, I guarantee I'm going to double your revenue. I guarantee I'm going to implement a system for you that's going to completely change the way that you spend your time in your business. I'm going to implement an AI system for you that's going to close deals and allow you to scale. I'm going to implement a system for you that allows you to, as a business owner, hire more staff, be able to travel more and spend more time with your kids. It costs £1,000 a month. Are you interested? Are you interested? Are you interested? You just need one person to say yes. You just need one person to say yes. And then if you can get one person to say yes, you can get 2 people and you can definitely get 3 people. Systems.
Take that in. Just take a moment.
Digest it.
And take that in.
If you need help with that, DM me and I'll implement. Yeah, go on.
This is amazing because what you just described, I could not fathom going on Indeed. If I ever had to see Indeed one more time in my life, I cannot. God forbid seeing Indeed one more time. It's actually harder to get a job. I just added £500 a month to my income in the taxi on the way here, you know, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I don't actually do outreach. So this is where your mind's going to be blown. No. Okay, the clients find me, right? The clients find me. I don't actually do outreach. I do a lot of mindset and manifesting to get my clients, okay? We won't go into the woo-woo today. But people are out there looking for the skills that you have. And people think, oh, I don't have a skill. You do. Whatever job that you've ever done in your life, you have a skill from. Yeah. As an example, someone on my coaching course right now, she does HR. She works in HR. Yeah. She's like, Janelle, I want an online business. I said, okay, do HR online. She was she was mind blown. Yeah. She was mind blown by the fact that she can, the skill that she's doing, the job that she's doing, working 9 to 5, getting paid 2K, you can actually take online and make 10K if you want to. Yeah. Take the skills that you've already got and translate it to an online business. That's the only thing that you need to do. So
I've been in a lot of programs. So one of the programs was basically communicating. Well, it was the same stuff that Sam Ovens was communicating, but basically communicating. You got to shift your paradigm. So that individual that you mentioned, the HR individual working a career in HR, their paradigm is, the value that I provide is confined to someone employing me and me earning a salary and performing the skills of my job within the confines of this 9 to 5 job. There is no other solution other than the paradigm I have. I must work and get employed in order to pay for rent and pay for food and survive in this world. And then once you shifted her paradigm and you provided information contrary to the paradigm that she had, it now shifted her to a new paradigm of, oh, Janelle has told me that I have skills.
Yeah, it's literally more effort to find a job than what it is to actually make a business. And people don't realize this, but I understand, it's the lack mindset, it's the limiting beliefs, it's approaching people and all of that kind of stuff that people are scared about. Yeah. But I want to talk about you living in Mexico.
Go on.
Because that is literally the other side of the world, a lot of cultural differences. What were like the best and worst parts about living there?
The best parts, I would say every day. So the number one thing is the habits and the routine that I have. So the environment that you're in completely determines the reality that you experience. Mm-hmm. So I go to the gym. It's a really nice gym. There's lots of beautiful people in the gym. It's motivating me. I feel like I'm part of a community. I'm making friends. I bang out an amazing session. I go out. I eat some food. I eat some tacos. Love it. It cost me £2. I drink a smoothie. Love it. Cost me £1. Mm-hmm. I walk back to my apartment. I chill. I do work on my laptop. And everything as well is within a 5-minute walking distance from each other. The number one thing is the routine. Second thing, living where it's constantly sunny. So me personally, I haven't experienced cold weather in longer than I can even remember. Like, I think it's been like 3 years since I've experienced like cold weather, minus like it getting cold at night in Bangkok, or like it getting cold when I'm like on the top of a mountain in the Philippines. Like, I haven't really experienced like cold, crappy, gloomy, dull weather. Why? Because I've already been doing that for like 18, 20 years in London. Now it's like, I know that the reality that I want to create for myself is one of constant sunshine and vitamin D. Cool. Number three, their environment. So when I go to the beach, when I swim in the ocean, when I go to the islands and I experience the islands and I experience a new culture, I'm speaking a new language. I'm taking beautiful shots of, you know, the views of the mountain, of the horizons. I feel natural dopamine. I'm connecting with people, and the backdrop of me having conversations with people that are is the landscape. That is what expands me. That is what motivates me. That's what I enjoy. Downsides, I cannot think of any.
It's
case, so
100%.
yeah, don't really qualify.
And I love the idea that you spoke about the weather. The weather has a huge impact, and so does your environment. Changing your environment is going to change you. It is, and it's going to change you as a person, because I look forward to doing work, and I don't mind working. I actually made a TikTok about this, and I was saying, you know, the reality of living in, you know, these tropical countries is it's 40 degrees outside and I want to go to the beach, but I've got some work to do for a client. But I'm not in a scarcity mindset because I know it's going to be sunny again tomorrow.
Of course.
Whereas in England, you know what I mean?
You have a week.
You have 1 week. Like, it's sunny today. Everything's out the window.
Everyone's outside.
Everyone's outside, right? So all of your goals and all of the things that you said that you were going to do, go because it's sunny outside, whereas it's sunny every day here. So you're not in that scarcity mindset, which completely changes you as a person. And your environment changes you as a person. And in order to create a new reality, you first have to become a new person. You have to become the person that lives in that reality. You have to eat, breathe, sleep, and become that person. But you can do that. You have to do that first, right? So that comes before booking the plane ticket and all of those things. You really have to have a mindset shift before the reality changes. So if people are listening to this podcast and they're like, what is the first thing that I can do right now in order to change my environment and to live this life that you guys are living? The first thing you need to do is change your mindset.
Yeah. I want to quickly add as well. So this is a idea that has stuck with me, and it's that the earth is alive, right? Nature is alive. You know, the oceans, the mountains, the earth is a living being, right? So just like humans and just like all living beings, the earth has an energy chakra system. So Mexico is like the womb chakra, or like specifically like Playa del Carmen, that area that I was in, is like the womb chakra. Las Vegas is the root chakra, like the red one. Glastonbury in England is the throat chakra, I think. And then I don't know what chakra Thailand would be, but basically like the energy system and chakra system of the earth is connected to like the human psyche. So different people thrive in different locations and get a different vibe and a different energy dependent on where they are in the earth. So like you may hear of the Miami effect. When people get to Miami, they start hustling like a different level. You know, you may hear of people moving to the Philippines and retiring and just surfing every day because that's what they want to do. Different energies for different places. So yeah, 110%, like a lot of people that are in the UK are melanated people. And I actually believe at my core that when we live in a place like the UK where we can, then maybe the opportunities to make more money, and maybe we do have more privilege being from these places, and but strategically, once we've exhausted that privilege and we've gotten the passport, we've got the money, we've got the healthcare, we don't actually have a purpose to be there. So as soon as we get out, as soon as we go to Jamaica, we go to Mexico, we go to Thailand, we have this rebirth where we are a completely different person. And that's what we're witnessing right now on social media. We're witnessing all these people creating content, sharing their experiences, sharing the difference in how they feel. And that visceral reaction is resonating with so many people that now they're doing it, booking flights, getting there, and they're like making content of their experiences. So yeah, like I would say it's the number one most important thing is traveling, is booking that flight. And if you've got any fear, I would say if you've got any fear, deal with it first, and then logistics of, all right, I need to quit my job, I need to have an income, I need a system. Think address the mindset stuff first in regards to the fear, the insecurities, the anxiety, the what if this, what if that, what if, address that and realize that you would rather travel and deal with it anyway. And then when you comes to dealing with the logistics, it's going to be more easier because you're going to have now an understanding of, you know, by listening to this, it's possible, an SOP, all I need is an offer, all I need is a sales system. So yeah, that will get you going in the right track, because I'm telling you, as soon as you get out of the plane, you start experiencing the new habits and the reality that you're experiencing, you're going to think, I was in chains living in the UK. It's an outdoor prison. So yeah, like living in Thailand, living anywhere abroad, anywhere not the UK, is a true life hack and a cheat code if you want to 10x the results that you experience in your life and business.
You have literally just spoken to my soul.
Oh, that's good.
Because the rebirth,
Yeah.
right?
That's
But
great.
I know so many people that are listening, that are going to be listening or watching this, are going to understand about this rebirth. They're going to have this desire to become someone new, to experience life in a different way. And exactly what you said, we are witnessing right now all of these people that are up and leaving their countries, America, UK, Europe. They're coming over to Asia, Mexico, and they're literally becoming a new person.
Yeah.
Because they're getting to experience life. They're getting to experience, actually, I've grown as much as I can in this area. There is nothing more that I can do here. And in order to progress, I need to take this next step.
Plant pot. It's a scam. It's a scam living in these countries. Like, it's a scam living in Europe. It's a scam living in America, in the UK. The cost of living is increasing. The payment is decreasing. Like, it's a scam paying X amount of pounds for fruit and bread and vegetables. Like, you can't eat healthy. It's a scam to go to work, to go sit on the London tube and everyone's miserable. It's a scam to be, you know, sharing your goals with your friends and family, and they, oh, I don't know, bro, I don't know if that can work. I don't know. That's all a scam. It's a matrix, and it is a scam. And then in order to realize that it's a scam, you don't realize that it's a scam until after you're out. And then another thing that I realized is a scam is being black. Like, once I went to Mexico, blackness, like, I'm not black, I'm me. You know, like, I'm being black is just a connotation. It's just an idea. It's just, you know, certain people have different connotations and ideas about what it means to be black. After I went to Mexico and I experienced, I can develop my personality without the guidelines of blackness to tell me who I should be and how I should act. When I was in the UK, it was a uniform. I woke up every day and I put it on, and I had to present that to the world. I don't care about drip anymore. I don't care about keep wearing nice shoes. I just want to be comfortable. I don't want to sweat out. I just want to wear a t-shirt that breathes. That's it. You know? So it's like, yeah, like, I don't want to
You're literally just, I'm just sat here smiling and I'm just like, you are speaking the truth. You're speaking to what everybody needs to hear right now, because downsizing, letting go of, like, the car, the clothes, all of these materialistic things that come, they are shackled to your environment. We need to talk about ads, because we need to talk about ads. But, you know, this is what I love about this podcast, because for me, it's like, you're a paid ad specialist, right? But the knowledge that you've just brought, the things that we've just spoken about, is the reality. These are the conversations that need to be had, you know? But the knowledge that you've gained, all of the things that you've just said, the experiences that you've had, has come from you being a paid ads specialist. So people right now listening to this podcast may have businesses. What are the benefits of paid ads through Facebook?
That's a brilliant question. So benefit number one would bubble down to the tap. So having a tap of customers. If you have right now in your business no paid advertising systems, you've probably only getting clients through word of mouth, through organic, right? Let's say that you're making 3K a month organically. You don't have to lift a finger. People are coming to you and they're working with you, right? That's not the majority of businesses, but let's assume that you have that, you know, you're popping like that. Okay, awesome. Visualize having a tap that costs, let's say, £600 a month to run. You got to pay £600 a month to run that tap. And then when you turn the tap on, it brings you 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 paying high ticket clients every week, right? So by you running it, it costs you £600. And let's say in 1 month you make, from the tap, you make £8,000 in revenue, right? if you're selling one thing for 1K, that tap brought you 8 customers to pay you at 1K each. Okay. And it costed you £600 to run. Why? Because that's what marketing essentially bubbled down to its bare bones. That's what it is. It's customer acquisition, and then sales is collecting the payment from the customers that you acquire, right? It's the system to which that you collect the payment. So let's turn the tap on, right? In order to turn the tap on and in for it to work, and a lot of people, they dibble and dabble with ads. Or, you know, I speak to a lot of people that be like, yeah, I tried the ads and it didn't work. I spent all this money and it didn't work. I boosted the post and it didn't work. And it's like, okay, cool. Think of it like this. When you move into a brand new apartment, or a brand new house rather, like a new build renovated house, yeah, and you turn on the tap, it's going to be brown and murky when you first turn it on. But if you turn it off immediately and you write off the entire house and you know, no, the plumbing is shot, is ruined, is horrible. No, you just got to let the tap run and let the muddy water push out first, and then you get the good leads. That's when you get the good sales. The same thing with advertising. So you need to build the tap first with the right strategy, with the right understanding of who your target audience is and what it is that's going to resonate with them to get them to what? Click. Get them to what? Purchase. Get them to what? Sign up, register, view, watch, follow, whatever you want the individual to do in the customer journey. And then you let the murky water run out. You let the algorithm do its thing and think. And then the machine learning and the AI, what it does is that as people start interacting with the ad, as people are watching it, as people are clicking on it, as people are purchasing, the pixel is gonna learn who the people are that purchases. So the tap has AI on it to find you the best quality water. And it continues to run. You can leave a tap on and you can leave the ad running for months without needing to change it, and it will bring you customers, 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 customers. That is why businesses need to run paid advertising. And then if they don't, then, you know, as you mentioned earlier, like you don't need to run ads. You don't need a funnel. You don't need a website. You don't need a sales system. People come to you. People come to you from you being you. However, if you had one, and when you have the system in place, you will immediately scale. Because with every single one of my clients, the one prerequisite that I can use to guarantee success is, are you popping organically? Do people care organically? Without running a single ad, are people purchasing from you? Is your content getting views? Are you getting shares? Are you getting comments? Is there demand for it? Because if there is, even if it's a little, even if it's a spark, all paid advertising is a catalyst. It will catalyze the growth and the results and the revenue and the sales and the popularity and the clout that you already have, and it will scale it orders of magnitude higher, because now you are strategically allocating a spend for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Google, Snapchat, Pinterest, whatever, to distribute your content to more people, using the organic formula and the organic results that you already have. That's how ads work. It uses the pixel. The way that the pixel works is that every single transaction that occurs on your website, the pixel records that. So all we're doing is getting access to that data, which we legally and rightfully own. And we are leveraging that data to make decisions. Well, we're not making the decisions. The algorithm is making the decisions. And what is the decision? Who is going to buy next? Who is going to purchase next? Who is going to be the next customer? Where is revenue? Revenue is 24/7 looking for customers. So in a nutshell, that's what paid advertising is, and that's why it's important for a business to implement.
That was amazing. I love an analogy. And the tap running, yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
That was really good. And it was really interesting because, as I said, I don't actually run ads. I've been thinking about running ads. I was listening to a podcast myself the other day where this woman was saying that she used ads in her real estate business, and then she was doing all of this content, right? And, having all of these followers was not bringing in the sales.
Sale revenue, yeah.
But actually, by running these ads, the same way that she did when she was a real estate agent, now she's a coach, was bringing in the same amount of people, because it's about visibility. It's about visibility. If people don't know who you are, how are they going to buy from you? If you don't have an offer on the table, even if they know who you are, they cannot buy from you. So I'm really sad that this conversation has got to come to an end, because I literally could sit here, and I can't believe it's your first podcast.
Yeah.
Like, the value and the knowledge that you've been dropping today has just been gems. And I know that anybody listening to this podcast has just taken so much away from it. There's a part 2 that has to come from this. We have to do a part 2. But it's been a really interesting conversation. We've gone so far left to so far right, but I love that because it's been really valuable to see who you are as a person, the knowledge that you've got about paid advertising, your experience with working and traveling and building your dream, and being able to let other people know that it's something that they can do.
Indeed.
As well.
Indeed.
So we're going to wrap it up there.
Yes.
I don't want to because this has been a great conversation, but it could go on for a while. Where can people find you?
On Instagram, just follow me on Instagram, drop me a DM if you want to receive free coaching or if you want a free ebook, if you want to watch my free course or anything, then the link in my bio will direct you to all of that. And yeah, thank you so much, Janelle, for having me on.
Thank you. It's been great.
It's been truly an honor to be featured on your podcast.
Thank you.
It's all right. Let's do a part 2.
Yeah, let's do it.